Before I start, I need to take a minute to comment on the news about our fellow Canadians Robert Schellenberg and Michael Spavor. The denial of Robert Schellenberg's appeals must be seen for what it is: a foreign government planning to take the life of a Canadian for political reasons. The use of the death penalty is abhorrent, but to impose it for political reasons is inexcusable. We will be watching tonight's verdict, and we won't be alone. The Chinese Communist Party needs to know that the world is watching, and we will be asking tough questions. Canadians just enjoyed celebrating the amazing achievements of our athletes in Tokyo. I know how hard our athletes are training for Beijing, but we are approaching a point where it won't be safe for Canadians, including Olympic athletes, to travel to China. The outcomes of the Spavor and Kovrig cases will help us answer that question. Yes, Canada should be considering a boycott, and I've said we're going to be watching the decisions very closely. Beijing has to know that the world is watching the genocide taking place against the Uyghurs. They've watched what's been happening in Hong Kong and the situation with Mr. Schellenberg, Mr. Spavor, and Mr. Kovrig. The world is watching, and we're proud of our athletes. We're celebrating, but we also have to recognize the actions of a country that wants to host the games to bring people together. And we'll have to think long and hard on whether we reward a country like that with the games. Now is not the time for an election. Now is the time to make sure we're ready for the risks of a fourth wave. Health and the economic well-being of our country needs to be paramount. And I've asked Mr. Trudeau to put that first. I'm worried that the Liberals will put their political interest ahead of the national interest. We are talking about ideas for the future, but right now we have to keep people safe. It's not the time for an election.